So you got all, yeah, both you and Lucky. I don't believe I have to because I'm broadcasting already.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so welcome to session 3 of ANZCRL Combined Racing League's 4th edition of the Le Mans 24 Hours. We're just finishing up on our organised qualifying session so the guys can get into order ready for the restart. This morning, we're still getting right to where we are now. This morning we have Sado 15 joining us and CMDRC is doing all the camera work. Welcome, guys.
How you going?
Welcome, Sado.
Yeah, nice morning for us all. It's 3 a.m. here at Le Mans for the resumption of session 3. And these guys are just organising themselves into their order where we're going to have the staggered start. And the LMPHs, we've got that number 8 Audi Sport Team Yoast team going to start off on the green with Duck Racing now taking control after Sado did a first session job, and it looks like Duck is doing a double stint for then Sado to bring it home. And behind him we'll have to wait for 22 seconds before he starts into his race for his chase. We've got Gecko in the number 7 A&M Racing Audi, and then a minute 30 for Lockie 55s in the number 6 Premier Motorsport Toyota. The Night Pegasus in the lone Porsche here will be on the grid for 2 minutes 20, so that's the adjusted time from session 2 into session 3. And the GTE class, we've got Jetto taken over from CMDRC, and he's in that number 26 Capital Chevrolet Corvette, who has set the standard here this weekend and been up front most of the race. I think the car behind in second, the Aston Martin Vantage, the 48 Besman, I think they actually grabbed the lead for a little bit in that session too, with Dado behind the wheel. But we've got Metal Drive now, and they're going to wait 29 seconds before they can start their campaign in session 3. And then we've got Weary Knight taking over from Gear 3 Gaming after he had done a double stint in the 69 Chip Ganassi Ford, and he's going to be waiting 38 seconds on the grid before he starts. We'll go down the field now to the three driver team of the 91 Team Apex Aiders with Slide Science in that Porsche. He's got to wait for 1 minute 3 seconds before he'll attack session 3. And then rounding up the field will be Captain Cranky in the other second Porsche, 92 Porsche. He's going to be waiting 4 minutes, so pretty much a lap down, be close to a lap down of the GTE class when he starts. But with the time compression coming into effect on this in between session 3 and session 4, if he has a good clean run in this 2-hour session, he should see himself back on the lead lap, which obviously that's what he'll be aiming for. So we should have a lot to talk about in session 3, guys, and it looks like we're almost finished. And these guys here are just finishing their formation of their qualifying, and we should be into it. It's exciting times.
I'm really interested to see what Captain Cranky can do. In the first session, his times were right up there. I think he set the fastest lap of the race in the GTE field. So if he can hold that pace again, he might have a chance in the last session. Maybe the time compression and bringing him back in to maybe only a minute behind. And anything can happen.
Yeah, that's right. These guys are just waiting for Jetto to come on through, which you can hear it now. You can actually hear the Chevrolet, so that they'll be able to finish. They've still got a minute 30 to finish their lap, and this just gets them all into their correct order, so that makes it easy for the start of this standing start into session 3, which we're going to look at through. It's a 2-hour session, times 5 time compression. So that'll make 10 hours in game time. So we're running from, obviously, we're running from 3 o'clock in the morning all the way to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And it looks like we're going to have overcast cloud and maybe might see the sun come out, poking through, but obviously no rain, which is a good sign for these guys.
And currently we're on record pace to break the the laps completed record.
Yes, and I'll just hold them up here just in case anyone needs to. I forgot to mention if they wanted a little bit of a loo break, but we might just wait for a little bit. But so, what's your prediction, guys, in this session 2? We obviously had a big 2-hour session last night with not much going on in the LMPHs, but the GTEs there was plenty to talk about. With a few little gains, we had Metal Drive coming up a spot, or I should say. Dado, and then we also had Sado, the dual driver, that's obviously given us some commentary today, as this morning, in that Porsche, jumped up 2 spots into 8th. So, interesting to see what might happen with the GTs.
Me and Jetto, we're very worried about Weary Knight in that Ford. We think he's the dark horse. Gear did a great job of just keeping the car clean for him. Only, 38 seconds behind, and all he needs to do is finish 30 seconds behind again, mate, and he'll be right in there come the last session.
Yeah,
that's right, with that time compression. Just so the viewers understand that 30 seconds, what CMDR Cirrus was just mentioning about, time compression will put him down 12 seconds behind the leader for the final session if he can maintain a 30-second gap from the leader. So it's definitely going to be race on, and we said at the top of the coverage way back yesterday in the first one, me and Matty, it's all about buying that ticket for this final session, which a lot of these guys are still in. Sado, they're all pretty much in a contention in this GTE class.
Yeah, the only driver that really's got a lot of work ahead of him is Captain Cranky. But everyone else is within that 1 minute range where anything can happen, especially the 2 Porsches with their better fuel economy than the rest of the GTE cars. If they can play the strategy cards right, they can really bring themselves into contention come the start of the final session.
Yes, definitely. And just thinking about the LMPH ones quickly, obviously that's what you'll be taking control of the number 8 Audi Sport Team Joest car for the final session, Sado. Got any sort of worries with Lockie in that Toyota, where we know that they can actually, if he has no incidents, he can make that race with a 2-stopper. So obviously he'll be vying to benefit from that, hopefully, and get a bit closer for this final session coming up later on this afternoon.
Yeah, we haven't necessarily seen Lockie set any meaningful laps so far. He had the setup issues in that first session, and he missed all the practice. So we're Lockie's sort of that unknown quantity for the rest of this race. So I'll be interested to see how he goes.
We've got someone dancing there pretty hard. That's not good. Oh, is that you going in the pit lane?
That would be me, I guess. But that'll sort itself out.
Might have to
we go green.
Hopefully, can you turn your lights off or not? You can't do that, can you?
Nah, I'm in the monitor, mate.
Ah, dear. Yeah, so anyway, so basically we're looking at Dark Racing. He'll go at the green flag, as will Jetto in the GTE class, being the leader of each class, but at the end of the session. And then we'll probably focus on Got Gecko in the LMPH after that, to start in that 22-second wait time. And then the next one will be the GTE of Metal Drive in the 48 Besman Aston Martin. He will leave at 29. And then another GTE will go at 38 seconds, will be Weary Knight in that Chip Ganassi that Cirrus was mentioning was the danger horse in this session. And then we'll have another GTE class car go with Slide Science in that Porsche, the Team Apex Eaters, at 1 minute 3. And then we'll have both the LMPHs going, which will be Lockie 5.5s in the number 6 Premier Motorsport Toyota at 1 minute 30, and then Night Pegasus in the Porsche at 2 minutes 20. So here we go. The guys are ready for 2 hours. It's 3 a.m. here at the Circuit de la Sarthe.
Here we go.
The the Session 3 of ANZCRL Combined Racing League's 4th run-in of the Le Mans 24 Hours. Best of luck, guys, and there goes Darky. And got some of the guys here lining up, it looks like single file.
Has Metal Drive gone early here?
I don't know what Metal Drive's doing. He has gone early. It was meant to be 22. I think he might have been thinking it was 2 seconds, but nothing we can do about that now.
Who's next? Gecko would probably be the next one to go.
Yeah.
There he is.
Got Gecko is going.
Oh! Big moment for him there.
Yeah, that's not something that I want to see early on, but it's, at least it's only with them not in pace yet. And obviously the tyres and everything like that aren't to their pressures at the moment. As they cars wait, we do know that the tyres do overheat with the pressures increase, I should say. So that can be an issue.
Weary Knight getting away nicely there.
Yeah, that Ford has actually been driven very well by Gear 3 Gaming in doing the double stint yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't make any mistakes in the first session by the looks of it, but maybe the fatigue got the better of him come late in the second session. Didn't know exactly what he was going on, but I could hear him struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he's. I think it did. The fatigue probably did set in a little bit. He did seem a bit tired after his stint, but anyway, they've got fresh body in that car now, and it's interesting to see how Slide Science goes. He's sort of been working on this Porsche, and they're in for a good result as well. So I wouldn't count that Porsche out at all, and we'll just see how that progresses through this 2 hours.
I'm hoping for big things from Slide Science. He's had the worst luck in the Formula Renault series, and he deserves some good results, I think. Been a clean driver, he's always helping people out.
Yeah, definitely, and having the ability now of just having some track time to himself without in a battle, these guys can really get themselves into their rhythm and sort of not have someone battling for those positions into the corners, so they can really concentrate and get some nice, good, clean laps in early on and set themselves up for the second hour of this session. That's where I think we'll see a lot of stories being unfolded in this race. So there goes that Porsche of Knight Pegasus. Would have felt like an eternity for him sitting at 2 minutes 20, but have a thought there for Captain Cranky in the number 292 Porsche. He's going to be 4 minutes on the grid, so yeah, so that's that he's got a plan, and that is to do a very good clean sessions here and get himself back on that lead lap.
Done a good job there of just pulling over to the inside, out of the way. Had a bit of a drama at the first session there with Pegasus losing the rear wing off the start.
If he's lucky where he's pulled up there on the camera, because we can't see. I think his pit crew is actually giving him a coffee. He's having a quick coffee before he gets going.
Good on him. The long
So
night.
here he is. He's getting a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in for a long night, but he's getting himself ready. He's about to go, so he should be going in the next 5 seconds.
Wonder where Jetto is. Oh, he's just coming into the Ford chicane now, so pretty much almost a lap down for Cranky.
Yeah, and he's
being
off
cold
now,
tyres,
so
yeah, you have to be pretty careful on this first few corners.
yeah, it's just the cold tyres, but also with the game have set the car up like they've already done a parade lap. The tyres were already hot, the brakes were hot, and that translates into the tyre carcass, which actually builds the tyre pressure up. So we've had guys then, it takes a while for those pressures to, not only on cold tyres, but your pressures, your tyres are like balloons. So not the optimum settings, but after about half a lap, they should all come back. Even a lap, he'll be back into it. So that's his aim, I think, is to try and stay on the lead lap this first lap and then see what he can do.
So now that the whole field's away, we'll start looking at some of the gaps here. Looks like Dark Racing has a 26-second lead over Gecko.
Yeah, so that hasn't changed much with a 22-second difference in start time. I'd say that's sort of been stabilised, so it's going to be interesting to see what
I was
Gecko
just
can
about
do.
to make the comment that Metal Drive must have lost a massive chunk of time on that first lap. Because he's a fair gap away to Jetto and less than 10 seconds ahead of Weary Knight.
Yeah, but I think he's readdressed, to tell you the truth there, so I think he's done the right thing, because I think they might have talked through the comms that, because they are all in the comms together as in the session, so they might have told him that he's actually jumped too early, because he had to wait 29 seconds, so maybe he tried to just get that gap stabilised a little bit,
Metal
more fairer.
Metal Drive is one of the few without a mic in those comms too, so getting information from him is pretty difficult.
Yeah, but he does hear.
Yeah.
Because I think he hears through the TV. So if people communicate that to him, he knows what's going on. He just can't reply.
But even
he's he does know he does do what he's a compliant type driver. I think he's just had a little bit of a brain moment there, and maybe was a little bit confused. And when we mentioned it in our driver briefing, maybe he didn't hear it correctly. So anyway, race goes on. And yeah, it makes it interesting just to see what might happen here. Well, Metal Drive, he had a strong first session, Metal Drive actually, finishing second, I think it was. Actually he finished 8th, I think it was. Look at qualifying here.
Yeah, he
finished
to the
third.
Back of gear right at the end there. Maybe, just bringing it home strong for
within
Dado.
4 seconds. Yeah, that's right.
But
so that was an hour session, and now he's got a 2-hour session in front of him.
He's a very consistent driver, Metal Drive, and I think he'll do well in this session. He'll keep the car clean, hopefully, and maybe Dado can bring something else out in the end there. Just looking at the gap too. He's only 15 seconds off Jetto, with Weary Knight 10 behind him. With Jetto pretty much having 30 seconds at the start on Metal and almost 40 on Weary Knight there. They've already closed in some of the margin there. Both of them.
Well, we'll be able to see some reflective lap times when they start crossing the line. Jetto's just exiting the Corvette curves now and heading towards the Ford chicane.
Rightly named for his Corvette that he's driving. And it's good to see this Chevrolet doing a good job. Been a class of its own at the moment, but he's got a lot of challenges behind, buying themselves in. Oh, here we go.
350s.
Lockie's getting caught up with a GTE at the worst time.
That was the story of race 2 there. The guys on the chat making a bit of a drinking game out of it.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the track though, and it's all about people having level heads. At the end of the day, it does cost them a little bit of time, maybe 10 seconds on their lap, but 10 seconds is better than actually ruining each other's races. So
of course, back on
how it
the
flows.
point with Jetto, that Corvette he's driving, they're pushing for 2 wins in a row in the GT class over the last couple of years.
That's exactly right. It was the number 4 last year that took victory.
Yeah, Speed Racer doing it solo last year.
Yeah, so the Chevrolet is basically the car that's done well here for the last 2 years. Definitely sounds nice and meaty.
Yeah, sounds nice in the cockpit as well. One of my favourite sounding cars. The Aston not very far behind that.
So it looks like what have we got there? Lockie has just come back through, so he's now officially third in the race at the moment.
By the end of this lap, he should have Jetto as well.
Fourth in the race, sorry. He's already got a little time penalty, Lockie, but that shouldn't worry.
Time penalties in this session is not going to be too critical because the field will be compressed.
We've got Dark Racing 40. He's done a 3:18.6 on his last lap. With 8/10 behind him, lost that lap was Gecko. So they're pushing hard straight away, as you would.
Oh yeah, but Gecko is holding that time. He hasn't got to 30 yet, so he's hovering around that 25 to 30 second mark, which is exactly what they want to see, because come pit stops, it'll be interesting to see how that changes with the in and out laps.
Yeah, they are pretty crucial, those laps.
Yeah, and as you said, Cirrus, earlier, it's exactly where they get caught up with the GTEs too. You know, Darky might get caught up through that Porsche curve, and Gecko won't, and all of a sudden 10 seconds he'll gain on Darky.
Lockie's about to come up to a couple of bit of traffic blasting from Arnage to the Porsche curves now. He's got Jetto
Lockie
and Captain Cranky in front of him.
Okay, yeah. So he should make this easy through here, maybe.
It's 2 laps in a row now for him.
Backed out of it there. He's driving smart.
Yeah, backed out. Yeah, I found that's what I did in this Toyota in the second session. I did about 2 or 3 times, and found it was the safest option. And then you can do exactly what he just did there, just duck up down the inside. And then he should be able to get Captain Cranky down the main straight, the starting straight. So that's a not too bad for Lockie.
And Lockie should have a good few laps of clear traffic now, so we'll be able to see some representative lap times from him.
One thing that I really like to view as well, if we have a look at the Porsche of Night Pegasus, sometimes when he downshifts you get a nice big blue flame coming out the back of it, which looks really nice here at the early hours of the morning.
Might get it going in... Oh, it's Porsche curve, sorry. I thought we were about to go into Indianapolis there.
He's also about to catch some traffic.
I think that's Slide Science in front of him.
Yeah,
So that's the junior Porsche team. We've got the big boy coming up to the junior.
Technically teammates.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
think the blue flame
who's
you
that
might see
there?
when we come up to the Dunlop somewhere around there. That's
Dark
looks like must be
Racing
Darky.
40, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, the number 8 goes past. Wow, Weary
Slide
Nice.
Science is currently holding 4th.
Yeah, Weary Nice is on a 3:55.9.
Wow. As you mentioned, that's the Dark Horse, and he was just a little bit loose.
And there's Metal Drive right there. 4
Yeah,
seconds
he's
up
been
the
chasing
Yeah.
Metal, so it's not too far difference there, and Jetto will hopefully just keep motoring through, and we should see maybe at the first round of pit stops. But they last roughly an hour, don't they? About 55 minutes or so before they're going to have to pit.
Yeah,
And we might have both the Ford and the Chevrolet pretty much close in pit lane there.
yeah, we were getting 57 minutes on the tank of fuel in our Corvette. And judging by the Aston was pitting at the same time as me, I think he can do the same. Not quite sure on the Ford though.
Yeah, the Ford's pretty good. If they do a little bit of fuel conserving, they can be all right. Just like the Porsche. The Porsche can get through with one stop if they're really, really careful.
Well, how much?
So that's where Slide Science can and Captain Cranky can benefit there.
How much time do you think might be lost fuel saving per lap compared to just pushing and then pitting, I don't know, with your gap that you've made by pushing?
Really, I don't think there's much in it. I think that the idea is just to go flat out. I really do. And as long as you've got your strategy right, that you're only going to be doing a splash and dash and not sitting there for tyres and damage repair and a full tank, you know. So as long as the guys have that all set up, I think the pit stop option is probably the wiser, like the faster option, really.
Yeah, fuel saving was not even a topic brought up with Ghetto and myself. We were just gonna just go for it, you know.
Yeah, because pit lane isn't too long when you think about it, you know, here. So you do obviously lose a bit of time, but you got to think when you're slowing probably each lap, probably around about 3 or 4 seconds a lap. Fuel saving, you're probably going to gain that, you know, within that pit stop, probably, you know, 5 or 6 laps difference. So
a little bit. That gap has come down 10 seconds. Dark Racing with Got Gecko there.
yeah, so Gokeko will be aiming here to get through. Is that Slide Science, I believe? I think just in front, or is that?
I think that's.
Or was that Captain
Slide Science? Because I don't see Jetto around. Bit of flashing.
Yeah,
say
so
thank you.
That's a little bit of a luck for that number 7 A&M Racing, who seemed in session 2 every time they came to Porsche curves they were caught up with some GTE cars. So a bit of luck going their way.
Just see what lap times they both do once they cross the line here and see where it was this lap that Gecko's brought it back in. Yeah, so 3:33 by Darky.
Yeah, so either he's had a moment or he got caught up in traffic at a time where he didn't want to be. And that's why this endurance racing, anything can happen, because they're going to be lapping these GTE cars. Probably just trying to have a look to see what the difference is. They're probably going to lap them around about eight times throughout the race.
Just watching Jetto lapping Captain Cranky. Captain Cranky wasn't making it easy for Jetto. He's saying, if you're going to lap me, you're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, well, you know, just race on. So and wait to see what's going to happen with both Captain Cranky and Metal Drive. As we've seen in that first session, there's no love lost between those two. Going into that first corner where Captain Cranky had the elbows out. So that's the next person in line to try and put Cranky a lap down on the GTEs. He's already lapped down, but Metal Drive will try and put him a lap down as well.
Well, Jetto's slowly opening that gap to Metal Drive, but I think Weary Night is reeling the both of them in. Yeah, 3 seconds now between Weary Night and Metal Drive. This is I'm so excited. This is gonna just turn up the heat much later in the race. It's all gonna be so much closer, and then come the 4th session, I think the elbows will come out. We'll have Dado and Weary in the car, and it'll just be, I will be feeling the pressure, that's for sure.
Yeah, and just hopefully that those elbows aren't out early, because obviously still an hour, and we know that's still a decent chunk of time of the race and the races to come. So I'm sure though, if there's an opportunity for a pass, it's going to be, it'll be on, that's for sure. And that's the mud looks good coming down through here into the kink before Indianapolis.
Geez, Jetto must be feeling under pressure. He only just pulled it up at Indianapolis.
Oh. Yeah, we identified Indianapolis as a bit of a danger spot for us. Getting a bit loose through that first right kink. We'll take it extra cautiously through there.
And here comes one of the other, is this Darky or just breezing by, just coming in before the Porsche curves. He didn't want to be caught out again.
Yeah, Dark Racing 40
Jetto's
there.
gone.
Jetto. Oh, yeah.
Jetto
disconnected.
That's not good. The leader of the race.
What a story. I'm crying on the inside, but
Oh, jeez. That's hard to take in this 2-hour session. So, what lap is Metal Drive on at the moment? So we sort of know what laps. Maybe if we pull up the screen of the standings, we can find out.
Yep.
So we sort of know roughly how many laps he would have finished here.
Completed
So
4 laps.
They're on lap 6 though, aren't they?
They're on lap 6, so he
disconnected on his 5th lap.
5, so he completed 4 laps. And completed that lap.
Well, on the 6th lap, so he's on 5 laps, wasn't he?
He was
They're on 6 now.
disconnected
So
on
5 laps. Okay. Alright. So beautiful. Oh, jeez. The story. And he hasn't even been able to hang around for the sun to come up. Oh, there comes the...
Yeah, got Gecko there.
Got Gecko. That car's proven to be very aggressive when it comes to overtaking the traffic. They're trying to not lose as... They're trying to lose as little time as possible to bridge the gap to Ducky. Actually faster than the previous lap too, so...
That just goes to show that's racing for you, and anything can happen in an endurance race. And like I said last night, we hadn't experienced any sort of technical dramas yet or accidents, and we haven't been hit with a bad luck stick. So there we go.
That's also motor racing, isn't it? In real life, you know, engine failure, component failure. Look what happens. You know, you've got leaders of races in this race have come undone because some things. But anyway, you'll be back just like other guys do in the endurance racing, and see what they can pick up.
That's it. We're just going to see what pieces we can pick up. So the gap now only just 1.1 seconds for the lead of the GTE race, and we have a new leader with Metal Drive and the 48 Aston Martin leading a lap, leading their first lap of the race. First time we've had an official lead change across the line.
Yep, and they'll be taking that on board, and hopefully that they can keep behind this Weary Knight, who's fully charging in this Ford, the Chip Ganassi number 69. Yeah, they would be. Yeah, so it's got a rich history.
Going to go on board now with Weary Knight. See where he's stronger than the Aston Martin.
And it's a given that Ford will win the Bathurst 1000 when we come into that in October. So only Fords are allowed in that one. So it could be a Ford clean sweep. It's a long way to go. And what a beautiful look at that sky at the moment. That's a nice orange glow.
Ooh. Here we go. He's just run a little bit wide there through the Porsche curves on the Aston. I'll try and get back to. Oh, side by side.
That was close. And that's a big moment of this race, but Metal Drive's coming back at him.
If there we go. But now, yeah, Weary. I think Weary Knight should be mindful of his mirrors here, because that Aston Martin is the quickest GTE car down that the Mulsanne straight, hitting 300 k's, not even in a tow.
Wow.
Oh, but he's just run a little bit wide there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to do exactly what you're predicting there. He was trying to keep onto the tail of the car of Weary. Just pushed a little bit too hard.
But hey, it's a long race and anything can happen.
And it will happen. We've already said that. Obviously, the leader of the GTE. That's the talking point of this session 3. Actually, at the moment, it's hard to talk too much about it with Jeddo's teammate Cirrus here in the commentary. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's a gut-wrenching feeling. But these things do happen, and they've definitely put up a show, and it's been great to see. But we're back into the race now. We've obviously Metal Drive seen what he can do with Weary Knight taking the lead of the GTE class. And then just don't forget now, we've also got Gecko in the LMPHs. It looks like he's only still holding that 16-second gap. He's managing to keep that gap the same as after they've cleared all that traffic, so he's holding pace. He's just a little bit slower last lap around by around about 3 seconds or so.
I think he hit the battling pack of Aston and the Ford there on that last lap, if I remember correctly.
Oh, through the Porsche curves, yeah, but he dived down the inside, I think it was, yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, just going back to slide science, he's only 57 seconds off the back of Metal Drive, and both the Porsches doing consistent 4-minute lap times there, and that will bring him back into the fray. Captain Cranky's now on the lead lap again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right, because we've always had Jeddo who took him. Yeah, so that's been a good thing for Cranky. If you can see a positive out of that retirement, but
well, I think
see what he can do.
All the GTEs are pretty happy with that. I wouldn't say happy, but they'd be gutted just like me.
Yeah, everyone's gutted when they see someone disconnect. It doesn't matter who they are, because we are a close community here at ANZ Combined Racing League. And yeah, we do like to see everyone at least participate and get to finish the race. But these things can't be helped.
But
I think Jeddo's hardware was probably frozen up because being down there in Tasmania, it was fairly chilly. I just don't know how Sado, our third commentator's going. He was very chilly himself this morning. So,
oh wow.
hopefully this nice little sun glow that we're seeing on our screens is warming people up. It's about to be daybreak. It's the sun's starting to come through, as you can see. Starting to shine its rays. Time. So what temperature are we looking at the moment? Sado, track and air? Ambient. Okay, and track, have we got any readings for the track? Probably pretty much perfect conditions for these cars to start getting some nice quick laps in.
Yeah, the Gecko and Darky are back on their paces in the late 17s, early 18s, and Weary Knight smashing out a 3:55.9 on his last lap. The paces there quickened at the front there. Just going looking at Night Pegasus here. Haven't seen too much of him so far in this race.
Have a look at the time that Captain Cranky did the last lap too. He did a 3:58, so he's the second fastest in the GTs at the moment, with Weary Knight obviously being the fastest of the GTs at the moment out in front. But Captain Cranky is definitely on a mission in this third session to set himself up for the final session. The longer he can stay out there, still on the lead lap, he's just on the tail, because I think we did see the trailing lights of Weary Knight there in the background, so it won't be long.
And Slide Science has also done a sub 4-minute lap time as well, so could this be the return of the Porsche here?
Oh, it could be. It was very unlucky last year, running out of fuel on the last lap. But yeah, the Porsches could show a little bit of cheek in this session and work themselves up for this final run to the flag later on this afternoon.
Just looking at the split times, we've missed something here because Metal Drive is now 13 seconds off the back of Weary Night.
Yeah, I'd say that he's just probably had a little bit of a moment, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully his car looks fairly straight. It doesn't look like he's hit anything, which is a good thing.
Yeah. They're quite easy to do in that. Is it a V12 in that thing?
Oh, I think it would. Yeah, that or V10. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. On the power, it's got a lot of grunt on the low end. As we saw Dado spin out at that Mulsanne hairpin in session 2.
It's got as many headlights as you want on a car.
It does too. Can always tell it's an Aston Martin in your mirror.
So we should be getting close to seeing these leading LMPHs come in for a pit, probably within the next 2 laps. So the 2 leading Audis will be in, and Lockie will probably be in another another lap after, I'd say, a lap or 2 laps after those guys. Both Lockie and Knight Pegasus in the Toyota and Porsche, respectively. Ooh. So it looks like obviously it's given that the Audis will need 3 stops, the third stop being a big splash and dash, and then the Toyota and Porsche could probably do a 2-stop if everything goes their way.
Yeah, 20.
Just talking about everything going the way. He's really lawnmower on the inside of the Porsche curves.
Who was that? Sorry,
Lockie. What we're looking at the moment, yeah, he was right up the inside.
he's pushing hard. 324 on his last lap. With 13 extra litres in the car.
Yeah, I love the sound of that Toyota.
Does sound good.
Screen. And the drivers will be thankful for this sun now, other than the blinding sun when it rises up over underneath the Dunlop Bridge where they can't see. So with a ×5 time progression, they should only have to experience that probably for 2 laps.
How much fuel was Knight Pegasus? Yeah, so they're running about the same consumption levels there. I think from memory is about 4.5 litres a lap in the Toyota when I was testing it. LMPH.
Yeah, each lap, yeah, around 4 litres or so a lap. 4 bit over 4, I think. Okay, yeah. So this is all where the pressure starts adding up to the guys, especially when Gokko's blinked first, he's in early.
Maybe
Yeah.
might have had to have traffic with slide science. Might be a factor in this stop.
I just missed me stopwatch on the time. But yeah, it could be exactly that. They might have a strategy there. So that was around about a 17-minute stop. I mean 17 seconds stop.
Yeah, it was about the same, that 17 to 18 seconds off Darky before he come in. So we'll see next lap where Darky ends up after his stop. But yes, the key is the crucial out and in laps.
Yeah, luckily he's got Night Pegasus just in front of him, so it's not a GTE car, so at least he can get his groove and not get held up through this little section of a GTE car.
He'd have to be in this lap, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's definitely, well, at some stages there you've got about a 40 or 50 kilometre speed difference when they're at their high end of their speed, coming near the end of the each of the long straights. So it's a definitely pretty hairy when you see one of these LMPH say, well, I'm going to take you down the inside before this corner. The GTE cars, it's a little bit of a moment for both drivers.
Yeah, getting caught in the wrong place is, pretty nerve-wracking, even in the GTE car.
Yeah, I believe I sort of did one on you last night there, Cirrus, in the Toyota. I ducked it down the inside at one stage.
Oh, that
gave me some nice room.
That's okay. Yeah, I saw you coming down into one of the chicanes. It's mainly going into the Porsche curves. You're not sure if they're going to put it down the inside or what, but I think I had Night Pegasus down the inside of me at one point, and we both almost went off the track about half an hour to go in the race or something like that. It was at that point, at the time, the scariest bit of my race. But yeah. So here he comes, Dark Racing.
Here comes Darky. So we'll get the stop clocks on him. Oh, he's totally cut that coming in onto the gravel trap, but obviously that's probably a little setup that he does, because obviously it gives you a slowdown penalty, and as you come in a pit lane, it wipes it off anyway. So
17 or 18 seconds it was.
Yeah, 17 seconds roughly, and we've just got the clock on Darky now.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go back to him?
That's right. Yeah, if you don't mind.
I was just about to see where Gecko was.
Sorry about that, guys, but we're just trying to see that he's actually there here a lot longer. He's been held up here. Must have some damage repair. This could be a changing point, guys.
Well, I think
still 32.
Is he doing tyres?
Could be. That's 34 seconds. So
that will make the difference.
That's going to have. If we go to Gecko, we'll probably find him coming through now on the chicane. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I think Darky. Yeah, it was too. He did make up a lot of time. So, look at that. 4 seconds. And that's the correct timing.
And that gap gets wiped out if Dark Racing hits a GT, gets up to the back of a GTE car into the Porsche curves. It would bring Gecko right onto the back of him.
Yeah, if that did happen, you'd probably find there'll be nose and tail coming out of the Porsche curves, and that's where a lot of action can happen when they're just, Gecko will be trying to fight for position. They'll be trying to overtake the GTE car at the same time, and that's where level heads come in.
It's heating up now in the LMP class. Loving it. On the edge of my seat.
Yeah, it's the beauty of us having that time compression formula. It's always worked, and it definitely keeps the interest into the race. And as you can see now, Gecko, who theoretically was over a minute behind live on after session 2, had to wait 20-something seconds, and here he's right on the back of Darky after the first round of pit stops.
There's the first
slide signs.
GTE car there, yep. Lucky they caught him now rather than later. So it's a bit awkward for Gecko.
It's going to be close.
Good respect there. Takes
Yeah,
about
well,
15 seconds to do 4 tyres. I
yeah,
saw,
so
and it was about that gap
think
difference, wasn't it?
yeah, I think that you're right. I think obviously Ducky would have had to put tyres on with that wait time, because you wouldn't think he had damage unless he did tag one of the GTE cars, but it doesn't look like there's any evidence of that. Oh, he's had to hold on to that. Puff of smoke coming out from that diesel. I think that's when, as soon as he hits that KERS button, get that power up. Who knows? It might have to be scrutinied after this race.
Oh, Gecko, he's pushing it hard. I think he just needs to calm down a little bit, I think. It's definitely got the crosshairs on Dark Racing. That's it. So next in the pits we should have Lockie 5.5s with 10 litres left.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, that's probably coming sometimes onto the straights, or that corner of that moose lane, that little kink. Probably not slowing down. Yeah, it's strange that they're doing that, because they really want to make sure that they get through with only 2 stops. So they're not doing the right thing there. Pegasus. He's overshot his pits. So Lockie, as we can see, he's probably got another 2 more laps. We roughly 4.5 litres a lap. So last time I seen, I think he had over 10 litres.
Weary Knights had a moment on that last lap of 4:03, about 8 seconds off what he was running. Yes. About in there.
Yeah, remember Metal Drive had a little spin that he lost a bit of time earlier on too, so they're the little mistakes that you don't want to see in these long 2-hour sessions.
What was the GTE cars getting around after 45 minutes, the tyres just drop off. Gets a bit light in the steering wheel and start understeering. Jetto said he was experiencing oversteer. But yeah, that's something I had to contend with at the start of mid race, and then especially right at the end when we just double stinted the tyres there with a quick splash and dash. It was a different car. It slowed the car down by 4 seconds a lap.
I think the answer for Night Pegasus has been in the pits. I reckon he's got some damage because he's still in there. Yeah, look at those rearview mirrors. There's marks on them, so that could be a little telltale sign something's happened. So that's a shame. He was fighting to try and go an instant-free race to hopefully that time compression can give him a good chance for the final session. But Lockie, he should be able to manage another lap if he wants to. Yeah, I'd say we'll be in actually. Yeah, I'm just looking. I thought that was actually where he was. There was coming after Indianapolis somewhere. I was a little bit confused there, so I thought he might have been. Yeah, he's definitely going to be in this lap.
So easy to do. So easy to do in that car.
It's a nice view there, coming underneath that Rolex sign with the sun glistening through the trees. Yeah, that's a stat that I didn't even know, and I'm actually driving it, so I should probably be sacked from the Premier Motorsport Toyota because I haven't been listening to the driver briefings from the crew. I just jumped in there and just put my foot on the throttle and off I went.
He's just past Weary
So
Knight.
yeah, got Gecko's just within reach here at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see this fuel stint, how it all rolls. Obviously, it does look like Darky has got that constant better pace than the A&M racing team. Ooh, there's Night Pegasus back out, but right on the back of the
Captain Cranky.
Porsche. But Captain Crank, every time I have a look at his times, he's under 4 minutes, so he's pushing out some nice solid times in this GTE.
Well, that's whereas Weary Knight's only just behind him. He's maintained that gap. He's still on the lead lap. As we see, got Gecko go around him. Quick flash to say thank you. Yeah, this will play him right back into it come that 1 hour session. Did I miss something, did I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you know that obviously the pressure's on with Darky. He knows he can't get held up because his Gecko is just within that striking distance if Darky has a little bit of a moment. So he'll be praying that all these overtakes are nice and clean. But for the ugly award, you have to give it to these Audis. They definitely not the prettiest cars, but you don't.
All the sound.
Exactly right. Yes, it's the perfect saying. Don't judge the book by its cover.
Whatever gets the job done at the end of the day.
That's exactly right.
We should
So
see.
we're not too far away for the half race
done
distance.
another
We've
lap.
got another 12 minutes.
Lockie 5.5's took the gamble and he's run another lap. 2.4 litres left in the car. And he's only halfway
It's
through the
going to
lap.
be close.
Yeah.
This is going to be close. It's as I said, 4.5. So you might have to just fuel conserve a bit. So he's halfway through the lap. He should get there. He's just going to be interesting how it goes down through this these Porsche curves. Hopefully he's got enough power to get him through it.
He must know exactly the right amount because there's no way I'd be taking that risk in the 2 hour race with another one to go afterwards. Like, he runs out before the end, that's it. Out, game over, you know. They'll give Night Pegasus the spot on the podium.
Yeah, give him a sniff. Yeah, so I've got all faith in him. I'm stuck up here in the booth and not with the team at the moment, but definitely I'm sure that they've made the right decision. Squeezing every little bit out of that last lap he done was a 3:24, so that's been the average sort of time that these Toyotas been able to do each lap.
Oh, he's only just going to make it.
No dramas at all. They know exactly what they're doing here, this Toyota crew. Premier Motorsport, they've had a good history of managing fuel after last year's mistakes, so learnt their lessons.
The engineers have crunched the numbers.
And in he comes, so we'll just see what his time in stationary is, if he's getting tyres at this stage. Probably not a bad idea to get tyres, and then the next stop you might not have to change them.
Yeah, A couple of people were commenting, just reading there, might not be able to hear Sato in the box.
So that was a 39-second stop from Lockie, so definitely that's similar to what Darky done in the Team Joas car. So definitely that would mean fuel and tyres. Is there anything I can do on our Twitch thing to try and get your audio?
I don't think there is,
Okay.
personally. Because they...
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh,
Oh, well,
wonder
you can be
if-
the commentator on the chat.
wonder if, yeah, he would have had to surely just got Night Pegasus, Scott Gecko going into the Porsche curves. Hopefully he didn't lose too much time there. He lost 2 seconds on the last lap to Darky. Oh, sorry, Nate. Yeah, well, only 1 second this lap. As we go have a look at the GTE field, and Weary Knight has just overlapped Captain Cranky. He's put in a blistering 355.555. And
Yeah, there's plenty of fives.
he'll probably do one more lap, I think, before bringing it into the pits. And he's got 20-second lead over Metal Drive in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, again, Captain Cranky's still doing those 357 times, so he's definitely playing himself only halfway. He had to wait 4 minutes, so it was nearly a lap down at the start of the session, and he's pretty much at the halfway mark, just been lapped now, so not a bad job by him. He's held that position for quite a while. He's got the pace, and granted that the race favourite in the Chevrolet, the Corvette, has had some issues and disconnected early, which was a shame.
He had another massive moment coming out of the Mulsanne.
Yeah, that's a corner that we've been having a bit of trouble of getting the power on. Just depending where the car's positioned on the track, there's some bumps there that really upset the car.
Another quick lap by Weary Knight there, 355.6 there. He's fast and consistent.
Pumping them in.
And Cranky, he's done a 4:07 that last lap, so that's what, because the gap was, I'm guessing, about 10 to 15 seconds between them before when we were last checked in with them. And there we go, that's where we would have lost it.
So it looks like, I don't know if Lloydie was saying, he says now we can't hear him, so I don't know in that comment if that means that Saturday they could hear you early on in the commentary and then now they can't, but yeah, it's a strange one.
Could
Yeah,
your volume
'cause-
be a bit low maybe?
Because it could also be because I'm talking so rarely. But
Who knows?
Ooh,
Lockie, come on, hold on to it, buddy. Alright, so Lockie's obviously pushing, trying to make the most out of his out lap there. And all that extra fuel, like actually doing that extra lap, and if you can do that in this other session, that's obviously going to be roughly a shorter pit stop for the splash and dash. Actually, saying that, he won't have to, sorry, he's only going to not need a splash and dash. He'd probably get away with just the one more pit stop.
So is he doing the 4th session as well? Woody, are you doing the commentary again?
Yeah, that's correct. Lockie's fine to do. He's doing a three stinner this year.
Yep. So maybe, yeah, if another pit stop will gain him probably another minute closer to the boys, and with the time compression, hopefully should still see him within a minute of handicap leaving the
Yeah,
start of the
definitely.
race.
Yeah, so Lloydie's can hear Sato, so definitely it looks like we're all good with the audio. It must be some people might hear, some others don't, but anyway, it looks good. let's carry on. We've got the expert pits commentator there ready to let us know what's going on if we miss it. In Sato, 15.
Yeah.
The man that was trying to do the dual podium finish, he'd be the first ANZCRL Combined Racing League member to actually be both on the podium of both classes. Tried his luck in the Porsche and then also in the leading Audi at the moment. So he'll be hoping that Slide
Sitting
Science.
third, so.
That's it. He's on track to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely on track. I had a little bit of a brain moment there. Sorry, Sato, but with so much going on, with a few disconnects in that. But yeah, so definitely feeling strong for a double dual podium for the first time. There might have to be an award for that if that does happen.
If you see the
Here comes
GTEs
Weary
will
Knight.
be in this lap, yeah.
As I said all week, I'm
Just see that
always happy
Porsche.
to...
The Porsche's going to be able to do an extra lap here.
Oh, I think another 2 laps.
Yeah, so Captain Cranky is basically has got a very good strategy going on here.
Weary Knight in the pits.
I wonder if he could maybe one-stop it. That'll save him
He
another
will be
minute.
one-stopping.
Yeah.
Well, with that one-stop strategy. I tried it last night and Porsche had about 3 other pit stops to repair damage.
Yeah, so obviously my experience in that Porsche from last year was definitely only a one-stopper in the 2-hour session, and we should have done the final session without a pit stop, but Lockie didn't follow a few little procedures and burnt a bit too much fuel, causing him to run out of fuel. So that was one of those things, but we decided to jump into the LMPHs at the last minute for this year's running of the Le Mans 24 hours. Pretty happy because we've both enjoyed ourselves in the Toyota, the Premier Motorsport car. They've done a good job, and the extra speed that you get and the thrills through the Porsche curves is unbelievable in this game. It's good fun, good feel. When you get it on right, holding it flat through there, it's a good feeling.
You see just Weary Knight leaving the pits there. Full of fuel now and probably done tyres as well.
Be seen.
Yeah. He's
Gecko
getting very
in
close.
4 laps at the latest.
Yes. Yeah, well, I guess got Gecko, the A&M racing team in the LMPH class, I think that they, in that second Audi, I think they really think, well, they're going to do 3 stops anyway, so that's why they might have just pitted that little bit early, just to give them a little bit of options there for that splash and dash later on.
So we see Slide Science now take 2nd place from Metal Drive through the pits.
Yeah, so those Porsches are looking very strong because of that fuel economy that they do have, they're known to have.
5.5 seconds on Metal Drive at the moment. So with a splash run for Metal at the end of the race there, cost them about 30 seconds. Maybe if Slide Science can maybe pull 30 seconds in this next hour, he could see him the Porsche up into 2nd at the end of the session 3 here.
Captain Cranky's just done a naughty.
Yep,
And
I'll bring up the
Lockie's now up
timings.
to 8 seconds of penalties.
I'll bring up the timing, see what everyone's fastest lap is. We see a 3:16.89 for Dark Racing 40, the fastest lap in the LMP1 class. That's blistering
And
pace.
then Weary Knight with a 55.555 following Lockie 5.5, so maybe Lockie and Weary Knight could team up one time and see what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... But then the second fastest, obviously, in that GT is that Captain Cranky. We keep saying this is probably what the drive of session 3 at the moment by Captain Cranky. Really, from 4 minutes down, at the start of the race, he's really using the strategy and the time compression to his favour running into the final session. So don't count him out at all.
Well, yeah, he's right on track. Like in the first session, he hasn't lost any time there. He's only 2/10 off his best time from when he drove in session 1, and I think he can go faster than that. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the 56s at one point.
Yeah, so currently the fastest time was Captain Cranky with a 57.264 in this race, but now it looks like obviously Weary Knight has toppled him with that 3:55.555. So that's the fastest time in the LMPH. As Sado set the fastest lap last night with a 3:15 point. The first session, sorry, 3:15.449. So
That it is a lap record for the ANZ Combined Racing League.
it is a lap record, yeah. So it's a sensational time, and Darky is still no 16, so it's not bad. So we might just go back to that action now and see how Captain Cranky goes. He'll be he's still got what, probably another lap, maybe. Oh, I don't know if he'll do two.
I think he'll
Probably got
be
2
in,
laps.
ooh, just run wide there, but I think he'll be in at the end of this lap. But I want to check on slide science. Yeah, he'll be in this lap too.
Yeah. So don't forget too, the reason why there might be a bit of different fuel there is obviously Captain Cranky had to wait that 4 minutes at the start, so he wouldn't have been burning as much fuel.
Yeah, he's done one less lap than all the other cars.
But yeah, so slide science will be in, and Captain Cranky's probably wise just to come in, because he'll know he'll be able to get to the end with the full tank.
What was I about to
Lockie's
say?
about to get lapped by Darky.
Woody,
That'll just put them at 1 lap down, so that's not too bad at this stage of the race.
you just want to check the session 2 results. I know Dado Racer did a 3:55.5 in session 2
Oh,
as well.
5:20, yeah, sorry, I actually haven't updated that, sorry, yeah, so that was right, so the fastest time was a 55, because Jetto, you did a 55.983, Sarah, sorry, so, yeah, I didn't update the website on the fastest time of the GTE, so that was my mistake.
Oh, that's okay.
Getting
The GTEs have
near
just seemed
midnight
to
last night.
found another gear through session 2 and 3. The lap times are about a second and a half quicker from session 1.
Yeah, it's all to do with those nice little time where the conditions, the ambient air was nice and crisp, and the track still had a bit of heat in it. The cars were flying. Position 2 in the GTE class, Metal Drive.
He's lost about another 20 seconds on Weary Knight there. As you see, the outlap difference was about 15 seconds.
Yeah, still in for a good shot of this race. 41 seconds. If he can keep that gap under a minute, that time compression is going to work into his favour in a very good way. Heading it over to Dado. That 1 minute would only put him 20 seconds behind Weary Knight for the final session.
And as we see also for the lead in the LMPH class, always we see Dark Racing getting around Lockie. That gap's slowly opened back up to about 18 seconds now. Maybe Gecko getting a bit of trouble with the lapped cars in this part of the race.
Yeah, I'd say so, but I just can't fault this number 18 Joest 2 driver pairings. They're just consistently under that 320. The car is just suiting both their drivers, and they're definitely, without any issues, they're still the race favourite to take this out. And there's been a lot of hard work in the background for this car, so it just shows a lot of that homework definitely pays off.
Captain Cranky just pull off into the... Oh, he's gone through the sand trap.
Yeah, a lot of the guys, some of these guys have been doing that because, as I said earlier, they seem to get that time penalty, but obviously it gets wiped off as soon as they come into the pits, but it doesn't look good when they go through the sand. It can be risky as well, bouncing around there.
Yeah, it could spear you back onto the track in front of an innocent car, I guess, yeah. Yeah, ruined both the races there.
Yeah, I didn't get the stopwatch on him, but that's okay.
You see going Night Pegasus now. Almost missed the race this morning.
Yeah, he was got caught up in the loop.
Lucky.
Just made the starter's gun.
massive wiggle coming out of Turtle Rouge.
He is pushing that Toyota hard.
Going.
Is Teta Rouge, that's one of the first Rouge Lane chicanes, is it? Or zone? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know Dark Racing did tyres at the last stop, and we don't think Gecko did, so maybe that has something to do with the lap times we're seeing different between them.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, Sirius. Like, so maybe that is the better option. You think of how much time they lose in the pit lane just by putting the tyres on, but being to be able to be consistent with those times throughout that session is going to negate that's holding time in pit lane. So that could be the option. Actually, just tyres each fuel load.
Captain Cranky speeding in the pit lane. Forgot to engage the pit limiter coming out of per hour before hitting the brakes.
Oh no, so I wonder what sort of time penalty he'll get for that, but...
10 seconds added to his race time along with his 1 second.
Yeah, these are the things that he doesn't want to see rack up, because obviously he's behind the 8 ball at the moment, so all those little penalties are going to cost him a little bit. So he wants to try and keep as clean the race as he can, but that can be a glitch I've noticed. I don't know if anyone playing Project Cars has had that before. You do have the pit limiter on when you come in, and then when they drop you, sometimes it turns it off. So I've had that a couple of times.
I second that.
Couple of times now.
Yeah.
So I'll just relay that in case the viewers couldn't hear. Sato was caught. Sato is watching through the monitor from the pit lane, so he's watching other cars while we are streaming. He's just caught Captain Cranky speeding out of the pit lane, maybe a little glitch with his pit limiter button, and he's racked up 10 seconds, which how much penalty can you get in speeding before it disqualifies you from the session?
We got 30. It won't be disqualified as a drive-through, but if you do something really bad, I think it's a disqualification pretty hard. So
I know at Indy we were all worried about coming in too quick and getting disqualified, so I'm just wondering if speeding out.
Entry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or if you enter the pits like
it's
the speed limit.
Yeah, it's an automatic disqualification, but I think you get a drive-through if you well, it's set for 30 seconds. He's got Gecko in. He's so then.
So this is the other.
They're just knowing that they're playing the safe game obviously, and knowing that they're going to have to do that splash and dash, but they're going to hold that little bit longer this session, this stop, because they should be getting the tyres on this time.
And that was the other thing I wanted to bring up with Darky making that 20-second gap. Do you think he'll play it safe and use that gap and put tyres on again to maintain those lap times? Yep.
I think so. I think that's a wise move to do with these LMPHs. You can see that the benefit he's had with grip has outweighed trying to do a double stint on those tyres.
But
they're running soft tyres.
That might bring Gecko back into the play, and as well, that's risk of it. On the flip side of the coin, being stuck behind a car, a GTE through the Porsche curves, we'll see Gecko right on him, and both with fresh tyres.
Yeah, again, he comes out just behind Pegasus, like Darky did done last time, I think it
was. So you should be seeing halfway through the lap. Do you reckon he'll be in this one, or one more, Sato? 9.4 litres. One and a half laps for Darky, Sato reckons.
No.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah, so you might wonder if we can just jump on board for a lap around with Darky.
Yep. What's the right button for that?
That is enter the roof camera.
The little antenna right in front?
Yeah. It looks like a some sort of shark or something. I don't know, some little beast with a teeth at the front.
Yeah. Seeing the aero ducts with the front wheels there as well.
Yeah, the reason why they've got that is to stop the cars from flipping when the air gets trapped underneath those tyres. They're so aero sensitive, these cars, so it lets the air come out, stops the lift. Famously seen by Mark Webber in that what was it, the Mercedes, I think it was, wasn't it?
Where they make the overhangs too big.
Yeah.
Up,
He flipped it
push
not
the
once
air
but
under
twice.
the car, just flipped it.
Yeah.
As we see Darky continue another lap, 7.5 litres in his tank. Pretty
The
standard.
number 8 car was only getting about 4. Very good for a 13-kilometre lap in a prototype.
Yeah, just the help of the...
But the
Was the,
Toyota being a petrol, yeah, I can't think of the words, too early. Yeah, they're not doing much worse in terms of fuel consumption, but
A bigger fuel tank. Yeah, that's a difference.
having a bigger fuel tank also adds time in your pit stop.
It does.
it also save time.
That's right. We're going to see that work probably in this third session. Unfortunately, I had to make a stop in that Toyota, an extra stop for a little bit of damage early on in the race, so it made me have a 3-stopper.
Yeah,
It was disappointing for the team, but Lockie's doing a tremendous job for the Toyota at the moment.
it's just outside of 1 lap down, I think. And 10 or 20 seconds behind Darky, a lap down. Although Darky will pit this lap, so that'll bring him back to the lead lap.
Yep.
Where United's checked.
And that's a lap of the Le Mans circuit aboard the number 8 Audi.
What is it? Johest.
I'm not even going to
Johust.
attempt it.
Johest.
See him come through the Indianapolis one more time.
We can already see Darky on the. I mean, we can already see Sato in the on the cameras there in the pit bay, salivary, drooling, wanting to get into this car for the final session. He's amped up for this.
He's hungry.
Brilliant car to drive. It's just a brilliant piece of machinery. Just hook. Like you wouldn't believe.
Well, I
They
don't
haven't had much
believe it.
luck though in the history of the 24 hours. So I think the Toyota won last year with.
I don't think they're too worried about the 2010s as such. They absolutely dominated the.
I'm just talking about us here in ANZCRL Combined Racing League. The history of them in the Le Mans 24 hours. So last year we actually had the Toyotas of both Uncrewed Squid and Shads taking victory over the Audi with Dark Racing and Fish. They only ended up being just under 3 seconds behind, so it was such a close race, that one, to finish off. And they very entertaining race, definitely, with that one.
Yeah.
Saying that the Joust that you got.
Yoast.
You
Well, there you go.
You hear Lockie come past there on the side of on the main straight. But yeah, my best time in the Toyota was only a 3:19, like a late, and that'd probably only be once or twice. So watching the Audis do 16s and 17s in practice, and Jetto and myself, when we were practicing in that car, we just didn't know where to find that extra few seconds. Just didn't know how they were doing it. That car is just an absolutely engineering masterpiece.
I didn't actually have the times there on Darky, but he didn't seem to be stationary as long as what he was the first one, so he might have not have got tyres. I'm not too sure.
And I think
Pulled out to almost a
He
30
extended
second.
that gap. Yeah.
Well, Gecko's
This was the alternate strategies where tyre change and Darky did the major tyre change and then flipped it for this pit stop.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it just seemed like Gecko's outlap was a 4 minute 12. And I don't know. I think
Okay,
they
so-
were doing 4 minutes or like all 350s. The LMP cars on their outlaps.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, so he's had a little bit of a problem
Drama
there.
somewhere. Yep.
So Knight Pegasus in that Porsche, he's got that time now to 3:24 that last lap, so he's absolutely flying.
That would have to. He's got
yeah.
Lockie just in front of him, I think. Oh
Yeah,
no,
so,
wrong car.
It's been a work in progress for the Porsche throughout this event. Knight Pegasus not having much seat time in it. He's doing a tremendous job working it out on the
Yeah.
fly.
Porsche hasn't quite got to the same. Comes down to practice, getting familiar with the car, optimising the KERS usage.
So what, we got just on 43 minutes remaining of this 2-hour session, the penultimate session of our Le Mans 24 hours, and we'll be finishing off later on this afternoon, around about just after 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for an hour session with ×2 time compression, and that'll end our full simulated 24 hours. And we've still got plenty to see what might happen in that final session. We've got battles in both the LMPHs and also the GTEs, and it could be actually a four-way battle in the GTEs. They all could be finding themselves on that lead lap with the time compression coming in to help both the Porsches. And we've actually seen Captain Cranky and also Slide Science having good times to also benefit from any issues that the leading two GTEs might have.
Yeah, I thought Slide Science would have been closer to Metal Drive, to be honest, but something could have happened that I missed. But I don't think now. I think Aston will pit and still come out in front of Slide if Slide on the one-stop strategy.
Drive seems to be much more suited for daytime running than it is at night.
Yeah, he's just posted a 3:57.9 there.
Yeah, it's also, as we'll debating if it's what's the sort of time difference if you go flat out and do that little splash and go like for these cars, these GTEs, or conserve and not have a stop in that. One less stop, but it looks like that conserving. But Captain Cranky is, as I said, his times have always kept under pretty much 4 minutes each lap, so he's off the pace of the guys doing the 357s in the leading two GTEs, and we would have had a three-way battle if also we don't forget about that number 26 Caporal Chevrolet Corvette that dropped out early after about 4 or 5 laps. They were actually leading the race and led the race all for the whole. What would you say? It was three. I've lost my train
Played
of
a bit
thought, but
hours real time and simulated time.
Yeah.
It was
oh, definitely, yeah. They were leading for the first 12 and probably into the 2 hours into that other part. So before they quit out, so we had ×10 time progression in this session. ×5, I should say, to make out 10 hours in the 2 hours.
Well, to put your minds at ease, the Chevrolet boys in the pits have got that car stripped and they reckon it'll be back on track for the last 2 hours, all fixed up and ready to go. So You know,
Yeah, nice.
we're
So,
we're competitors. We're always going to finish. We have a smile on our faces. You know, we win together and we lose together. And you know, we'll still be happy we finished it, and the pace we ran in our car was above expectations. You know,
yeah, it was
we're very happy
outstanding.
with it. Yeah.
So, Captain Cranky, what's he's looking at? He's only a minute 40 off slide science, so that's not too bad. He's actually gained a lot of time. He started off roughly 3 minutes behind slide science in this session, so he's gained some time. He's good 1 minute 20. He's gained on slide science in this session 3. So the battle for the Porsches for the minor position on the podium is going to be very interesting in the final session.
Well, that's it. They're all going to close up back to Weary Night. And so the gaps, yeah. So slide science, a minute 40 to Metal Drive in front, and a minute 40 to Captain Cranky behind.
He's right in the middle, isn't he?
Yep.
Even in of a sandwich there.
And 50 seconds Weary Night has over Metal Drive.
Yeah, and as I said, that's what Metal Drive really wants to concentrate. Try and keep that gap to win that within that minute, and he's going to be able to hand over to his fellow driver, his co-driver, Dado Racer, for the final session, with him only 20 seconds stationary time before he has to start that hour session. So, you know, anything can happen in that 20 seconds, I should say 20 seconds wait, and throughout that hour, you could see this Aston Martin really challenging for the victory.
Yeah, Dado Racer, he's very true competitive, strong driver. He'll be charging come that last hour, and he'll have no worries. I think he won't be worried about the cars behind. He'll have his eyes forward, chasing the back of that Ford.
Yeah, he made a few little uncharacteristic errors there last night, though. I think the night just got to him a little bit, so hopefully he'll be nice and fresh for the final session, and limit and, you know, get a real good clean run in that hour.
Well, our strategy last night was to just keep it comfortable, which I was surprised my pace in the 56s was comfortable for me. When we were unsure if we were holding the carrot at the end of the stick for Dado, if he was pushing really hard or if he was just also being comfortable, and we were just maintaining about a 6-second gap. But he did close that in a bit and even was in the lead of the race for the Mulsanne Straight on one occasion. But yes, I don't know, getting into the lead of the race and making a mistake, I don't know, could have got to him. But yeah, we definitely had no intention of battling with him at that stage of the race. I was happy to sit behind him.
Yeah, so yeah, I think he did say that he had to be pitted for damage twice, I think it was, in that session. So that will cost him a little bit.
Just have a go on board. We'll go on board
Here
with
comes Lockie
Weary Night
to overtake.
We've done a lap on the Audi R18. We'll do a lap on the Ford GT.
Yeah, let's jump on board. Leader of the GTE class, currently driving Weary Night with Gear 3 Gaming after he did the double stint yesterday. I believe Weary Night's probably going to run it to the flag, do a double stint himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing in the paddock.
Currently also the leader of the in our Sunday League racing, which we're having obviously a break tonight, in the former Renault Gold Cup in Tier 2. He's currently the series championship leader there.
Yeah, his teammate, or co-driver, sorry, in this race, Gear 3 Gaming, I think he saw him in third on the standings, if third or fourth, as well in that same championship. So they're both right up there. As we see Night Pegasus, I just saw his number flashed already. He's earned himself a penalty somewhere. Probably ran wide.
Yeah, all been starting to get a little bit naughty at the later half of this session.
Yeah, now's the time where...
Realised we were running a lap with the Ford.
That's okay. Geez, he's nice through those chicanes there. final run onto the starting straight.
You just got to go to the cockpit camera. I want to see the steering wheel. If I don't think he'll be moving it too much. That means
As
cars.
we just see with the is that that might have been the leader.
Yep.
Of the race.
Look at that. The steering wheel is one turn in, one turn out. That car is planted. It is set up well, very well balanced. No oversteer or understeer. He's just done a 355.6, so 1/10 off the fastest lap of the race on his last lap.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that Ford's just having a Sunday drive, isn't it? But times it by about 15 in the speed department. And yeah, he's very seems a lot of light work going on in there. And I'm sure he'll be. Yeah, that's right. But the Peter Brock style. But yeah, he definitely needs to be concentrating hard for the remaining 34 minutes remaining of this session. Still a long way to go, and these guys have started. They started a bit early in the morning, and now they're getting near the probably around about 12 p.m. In game, probably lunchtime. Smelling all those barbecues, all the sausages being cooked in the spectator areas.
Probably be worth the drivers radioing into their pit crew, making sure they're not sitting back having an ice cream at the wrong time.
Haha, nice Days of Thunder comment, that one.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Great movie. Yeah, it's just, looks like it's a very nice car to be driving. That Ford, they've obviously got a nice setup in that. And you can tell why they're up in front. Same as when we were on board with Darky. Oh, I think we were on board with Darky last night. I know we were on board with Sato at one stage in the first session, and you could see that they weren't really fighting the wheel too much. And that really helps.
The cars that are in front, it almost seems too easy.
Yeah, this track is a weird one for setup. You've got the big long straights there, but then you've also got a few of these tight corners like in Indianapolis here. It's kind of a mix of everything, and then through the Porsche curves as well. You really want have the aero effect of the cars doing the work, and that's where I think the Aston Martin struggles through the lap, is through the Porsche curves, whereas they're so fast on the straights.
Yeah.
And yeah, the strengths and weaknesses in the GTE cars and the balance of performance really makes all the cars very close together in terms of lap times.
So if those live timings that we've seen are correct, it looks like Lockie's still maybe just on the lead lap. Sometimes they have had us fooled in these races.
Well, I'll just go to Darky. Yep, he's just coming into turn 2, so he's only just 5 or 10 seconds down the road.
Darky's just coming on. I mean, Lockie's just coming on to the.
Okay, just overtaking one of the Porsches. Which is was Slide Science, I believe. Currently third in class. He's holding that final podium spot in the GTE class, and definitely having a lot of pressure with Captain Cranky gaining all that time in his number 92 Porsche.
Yep, it looks like
things are looking good for Lockie because he doesn't have to have that splash and dash, and the longer he stays out here just in front, the more that he looks like he could finish this race on the lead lap, which with the time compression is going to put him right back in it for any little hiccups that these leading outies might have in the final session.
You see Night Pegasus just dive into the pit lane. This will be his last stop.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's low on fuel.
Oh, he's overshot the box again.
Overshot again. So he's I know that he's rigged that he did mention that because he's actually gone to iRacing and done a lot of iRacing recently. He's got 2 different setup rigs, and his actual good steering wheel and everything's mounted on his rig, and then the
All
the
metal
old
drive's
trusty
got damage.
Logitech. Oh no, big moment here. The Porsche teams are licking their lips here. But
Yes.
quickly with Night Pegasus. Oh, he hasn't even reached his bay.
He
And
had one.
Night Pegasus, he's actually got his wheels not mounted, his pedals, so they are moving around on the floor a little bit. So maybe that could be the reason why he's missing the pit. Stamping on the brakes a bit too hard with the pedals moving on him.
Hopefully
This
it
is a
won't
big moment.
cost Metal too much time. He still would put fuel in the car and he can get to the end. He won't have to stop later, but a bit extra to fix that damage up. Where's Slide Science on the track? He's just coming out of Indianapolis.
Yeah, so won't have affected him. I forgot that they were going to need a pit again, and so that won't really affect him too much. So that's he got a bit of a get out of jail card there. So he's just got to hope to keep it on the black stuff now for the remaining 30 minutes and bring this thing home. Knowing that Weary Knight still has to pit for fuel. Won't have to be much fuel, but he will have to stop still.
They're on track. Looks like the Ford is running the same strategy as the Corvette from last night. I know Gear was trying to save fuel. He said he was running lean, and while watching the replay late last night, he was only hitting 270 on the Mulsanne straight, where I was not saving fuel. I was at 295.
Wow, what a difference.
Yeah, and I think he was doing 4-minute ones and stuff and giving up 5 seconds a lap while doing so.
Yeah.
Whereas Weary Knight
It all
is
comes down
pushing.
to a bit of gearing as well, I think. So, yeah. There's one little setting. I don't know how much settings they have in the gear ratios in these GTs. Oh, no.
There's
Petra
a bit
Rouge.
twitching there.
Did you see one of the Audis come past?
So he's got the better half of 3/4 of a lap to go to get back into the pit bay for his stop, which will be held up a little bit with that damage repair, depending on how much he's got. Looks like it's crabbing a little bit down that straight.
Doesn't look too bad, but it might feel pretty bad. It looks.
Yeah, just seeing it zigzag left, right,
Oh,
left,
yep,
right.
the right rear corner's been hit. There's no brake lights on there.
Oh, that
That's
was
a shame, but
a massive crash.
Massive
he's
crash,
been doing
eh?
so well in this session, but no, it's not lost yet. So he's definitely still in. Get that damage repair and come out, and we should see him still in a good, handy position once that time compression comes in.
We've just seen Dark Racing 40 set, I think it's the fastest lap of this session, a 3:16.6 on his last lap.
Pretty close to it.
And that'll have to be one more stop, wouldn't it? 26 litres won't last 27 minutes.
Yeah, they'll have to just have a splash and dash.
For your splash and dash.
With the number 7 car pitting earlier. Yeah, there we go, 6 litre difference there. He comes up to
He's
one of
going
the
to get held up a little bit, but he'll get the power out of the chicane here.
That's Slide Science there.
That he did on that last lap is 0.02 of a second. Or that was set by Dominator before we arrived here yesterday.
Yeah, wow.
I'm not sure, did the LMPH cars get a bit of an overhaul a few years ago with the KERS? Or was that just because the difference between LMP1 category and LMPH category? The automatic KERS
Yeah, I'm not too
deployment.
sure.
Well, cars on Project Cars 2 deploy KERS a lot stronger.
Oh, okay.
Whereas in these LMPH cars, the KERS is a bit weaker and it's
Yeah.
Which which I found too. Sometimes I forgot to press last night, getting a bit weary.
And Darky
That
there,
might
just
be
a tenth off that lap.
That might be what 3:32 laps is. Just forget to.
Yeah, it's easy to do. Easy to do when you start daydreaming a little bit.
Lockie's.
Yeah, so get that damage repaired and get back out and have a solid little run for the last 24 minutes or so.
Yeah,
Still got a big buffer to Pegasus. They should be.
bit of an unscheduled stop for them. The boys were just finishing off their ice creams.
For Lockie, it was scheduled because he came in
I thought he was a lap early.
a few
Yeah,
left in the
okay.
tank.
Yeah, he still had he had about 7 litres of fuel, I think, when he hit that. I can't remember what it was, so.
I was just trying to sneak another Days of Thunder reference in.
Yeah, so he definitely had to pit again because he had only pitted once at that stage. I think that's what it was. I think he hadn't had his second pit stop yet.
Yeah, I don't think he did. But that was a short stop, so there wasn't much damage on the car. He's back out.
A bit like Metal Drive, he got a little ticket, a little get out of jail card.
Yeah, if you look
Though it would have been a slow in lap because he would have had that damage and he wouldn't have been able to push.
But Slide Science, he's done a 4-minute 10.8. And he's halfway through his stint there, so I've been keeping an eye on it. I don't know if he's fuel saving or if he's backing off or.
He might be just making sure he's got enough fuel, just thinking that if he has to do an extra lap like what you did, Cirrus, last night, if the LMPHs get around enough to make another extra lap, sometimes that's where the Porsche, even with that bit of fuel conserving, comes unstuck. If you have to do that little extra lap, you just don't have enough fuel.
Yeah, okay.
So all that hard work goes down the drain. So he might be just getting himself a buffer.
Well, his teammate.
Looking at from the times from last night and tonight, they're roughly the same, and they managed to do that full 2 hours in. I think it was just over. It was enough where there was too much time to be gained to try and do that extra lap for the LMPHs. So I don't think there would be an extra lap.
Yeah, because Captain Cranky, his teammate in the 92 Porsche, he's gained another 25 seconds since the last time we checked in. We've got 22 minutes to go in the race. So he's brought himself back into play marvellously here.
Yeah, it's definitely a great drive in session 3 from that number 92 Porsche. But yeah, just getting back to doing that extra lap, I think it was roughly, they have to make make up another 2 minutes on that time to be able to get that extra lap in for the leading LMPH car, so that's a lot of time.
Darky's flying. That's his third 3 minutes 16 in a row, and they're all within 2 tenths.
Yeah, he's very comfortable. Very comfortable in that car.
Yeah. Getting stuck.
And don't forget that, oh yeah, okay. Don't forget, this is actually one of the parts of our ANZ Combined Racing League's Triple Crown. Winning this, and the Indianapolis 500 and the Bathurst 1000 gives you the trophy, which has already been given to Shads. He's our inaugural winner of the Triple Crown, winning all that. So Darky winning the Indianapolis 500 this year and going for a victory here at Le Mans. All he'll need to do is try and win his bogey race, is the Bathurst 1000. Not a huge fan of that track and the V8 supercars.
Lockie in again.
Almost.
He didn't put enough fuel? No, I don't know.
I'm not too sure what it was.
I would assume. Maybe they didn't repair the damage on the previous.
Yep.
Yeah, could have been, yeah, because I was wondering why it seemed to be so quick. He might have just used his hadn't selected the strategy correctly.
Well, got Gecko. He's responded on his last lap to the 3:17.0. So he's still also pushing hard to keep up, but it's that 40-second margin there, and it'll be interesting to see. They're surely both just going to keep their tyres on and just splash and dash for the end. Surely.
The number 7 Audi just seems to phase in.
Yeah.
Must drop away for a few laps. Number 8 Audi.
Yeah, not quite at the moment. He seems to get that wheel spin every time coming out of the Mills Lane corner there.
You see Lockie just exiting the pits there. That makes it a 3-stop for him, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's 3 stops now. He's taken the my lead of obviously having a little bit of an interest in that 2-hour session, which is not hard to do, and that's why credit to both Dark Racing and Got Gecko at the moment in those leading Audis. They haven't put anything for foot wrong yet. We've had a little moment we've seen with Got Gecko sometimes. They're getting the power down, coming a bit too hot some of the corners, but they've kept it fairly straight. And I'd say Weary Knight's done the same. I don't think we've actually seen Weary Knight. He's just done a 3:54.976, so that's the fastest lap of the race.
And lap record,
as
wow.
Sado has just said. So absolutely flying. He's loving these conditions at the moment. The sun's right up there, probably around about 1 p.m. in game at the moment.
This is the best conditions we're going to get in the entire race.
He's just throwing the gauntlet to Dado, saying, you know, catch me if you can now. This is what you've got to do it.
Yeah, it looks like the sun's really made him clear. The clouds are sort of breaking away, but it looks like they're on the radar. They're sort of a bit of cloud cover coming over from the east.
Yeah, the clouds is now rolling in. So it's going to start getting cold.
Yeah, hopefully no rain in any of that overcast clouds. Doesn't not picking up on the rain radar. So, but you never know, do you?
What did you say the
Fingers
race
crossed.
lap record was for the LMPH?
15.449, which Sado did, but before that, I'd have to go back in our history there.
Well, Darky's got the fastest lap of this session at the moment.
And not just under it, they've obliterated it.
Yeah, and we, me and both Matty Seekin and myself in the first session, we did comment that it really was shaping up to be one of the fastest Le Mans we've seen here at ANZCRL Combined Racing Leagues, and it's definitely proven that so far. Last year, obviously, we had some rain which slowed it down, but this year it's been dry running all sessions at the moment. It's just that doubt with those dark overcast skies starting to show. But as we said, no rain on the radar, so they'll be hoping that rain stays away in the final session.
Gecko's starting to get to the bottom of his fuel tank at the moment.
Yeah, he'll be in this lap, I assume. As we see Lockie in again.
Lockie's back in.
He's obviously got some sort of pit bug or something going on, so he's not happy here.
This is bringing Pegasus back into the fray. In fact, I reckon Pegasus might even get close.
It was about 2 minutes.
Overtaking Lockie for third, but still got another lap to go to catch up to Lockie.
The times get a bit weird when they're in the pits, and I did notice last time he was getting close, but as soon as Lockie came out onto the track, it was back to 2.5 minutes or something. But still, another 30 seconds he gains.
He's up to 25 seconds of time penalties.
Well, it's definitely going to put the interest into the LMPHs for the victory and also the final podium spot for this final session between the two Audis for outright victory and then the Toyota and the Porsche for the third spot. So that's something exciting to see for the final session, and then I think we're going to have a four-way battle at this stage late into the final session. Obviously Weary Night Metal Drive will be Weary Night and Dado Race, I'd say. Will be very close at the start.
Yeah, we go right on cue. Look, Echo's going to make his final splash and dash.
I've just got the top stopwatch on here. We'll just see how long he's stationary for compared to what Darky will be.
Shouldn't be chilling pit stop.
Oh, that was a
under
splash.
just about
and
9
dash.
seconds. Yeah, 9 seconds that one. So we'll wait for Darky. Darky will be in next lap normally. He was usually followed Gecko the next lap after they were in.
Yeah, he's just been held up. Craig?
No, it was
No, it
slide
wasn't
science.
Captain Craig yet.
Still in
Yeah,
those 4
currently-
minutes.
Currently
mixed
though,
up.
holding third.
Yeah.
And our man in the commentary box looking for a dual podium victories here at the 2020 Le Mans 24 hours, the fourth run in here at the ANZCRL Combined Racing League. It'll be quite an achievement. No one's done it yet. There's been a few guys try doing a dual class running to help guys run, but never have they been in a position that Sados finds himself this year.
Breaks it more luck than anything. Making the most of the being disconnected at the start of this session.
That's right.
Take and capitalise on. That's exactly what Slide Science has done.
Yeah, he's running a clean race, slide science. He's been doing well with the lap traffic as we see Lockie start catching him now.
Hopefully he gets through nice and cleanly. No damage. Hopefully it's all been repaired. This car seems to be handling a lot better. Hopefully they fixed it second time around. Well, not third time around.
Very nervous on the curb though for Lockie.
Yeah,
Bumps, it's just not riding the.
handling the curbs.
It's
Yeah,
good to see the Porsches this race. Both of them have clean cars. They haven't been in the wall at all that I've seen. We've got Captain Cranky. He's only
Wow.
1 minute behind his teammate now. So come that last
yeah,
session,
so that's
Sado, you might be
gaining,
yeah.
gaining three minutes on the 91 Team Apex Eaters. So yeah, could upset the that third spot for the three-car driver lineup in the Team Apex Eaters. Timmy 82, Sado 15, and Slide Science.
I'm not sure if we'll see Speedy the Bandit in that Porsche car in the fourth session. Not quite sure on their lineup if Captain Cranky's going to do 3 stints or not, but
Yeah, at this stage there might be a late executive decision there, and I think Captain Cranky would be wise to, if he can, make that final session to be in that car. Definitely showed a lot more pace and consistency than Speedy the Bandit. Just the car's suiting Captain a lot more than Speedy.
he's been plugging on well. Where's Weary? Yeah, so he has lost a lap, still a lap down. However, in Weary's last stop, which he'll be pitting at the
Yeah,
end of
I
this
was
lap.
just about to comment that just seeing the filler man ready to put some fuel into the Chip Ganassi Racing.
Ice cream wrapper in the bin.
doing his squats, a few little stretches.
Yep. Very important job, the fuel, man, and not easy to do. You gotta have the body strength to push that hose in and keep it in while the fuel spills out at a ridiculous rate a second.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we might have missed. We missed Darky actually pitting or not? Or is he still out?
No, he's still been circulating.
There you go. Because I've seen that time go out to 1:17. I'm thinking, oh, something's happened here. But
both the race
nothing's
leaders
happened to Gecko
in this lap.
Gecko's already been in.
Oh no, I said I said the leaders. Weary Night will be in too.
Oh, exactly. So it's going to be very busy in pit lane. But just remember, Gecko's in that number 7 A&M Racing. They had a 9-second stop for fuel. We'll just see how much fuel theoretically Darky should need to be there. That as long as Gecko was. Catching the Porsche at the right time as Darky's going to be in the pit lane this lap.
Using that curb there on the exit is always very scary, actually. I was avoiding it.
Risque.
On the alley. Through the
there it goes.
Maybe have to put a bollard there.
Yeah.
Completely shortcut that.
I'm proudly can say that.
At least take the chicane.
I can proudly say that I've used the track on both my stops.
Yeah, so, there we go. That was just on 8 seconds, so about a second less time.
Yeah, it's a lot of... 3 laps to go in this session.
Yeah, as Gecko leaves Arnage as Darky just comes out onto the track. And Weary Night, 4.8 litres. He's just caught the back of Slide Science. That'll put him a lap down, but as we said, Weary will dive off into the pit lane. And that'll save Slide's lap.
And he comes.
See if he makes the chicane.
Can make the chicane.
And he does.
There he goes.
Good boy.
Yeah, it definitely looks better when the guys are actually obeying the tracks there.
And yeah, nice flash of the lights. He's doing a great job out there. Another session like this one in a few hours' time, we'll see the Ford team of Weary Night and Gear 3 Gaming lifting the trophy.
So that was around about 11 seconds for that field.
So, as Metal Dive's already stopped, that should be the last of the GTE stops.
Yeah, he came in for that little bit of that damage early with the fuel at the same time.
Slide on 22 litres, Captain Cranky on 24, they will get to the end easily.
Yeah, so how far behind was Slide from Metal again?
1 minute 30.
Long way.
30. Yeah, so if they've done a bit of fuel conserving, you just don't know. But I think, well, Captain Cranky's been doing. Oh, this is a bit dicey there. Who's that coming up through?
That'll
was
be
that the
Gecko?
Gecko.
That'll
Yeah,
be...
they haven't had the luck through with the GTEs, but lucky there was no incident there. White Knuckles pulling up that LMPH. It's so hard to slow down to the GTE paces when you have to do that.
Awkward for, not sure if you're in the GTE car, you're not sure if they're going to do it or not. They stick the nose out and you're like, do I leave space? Do I take the corner? I'm not, And the braking, you brake so much later in the LMP car as well, I noticed. Got a bit nervous last night. I was in my lane, but I think the LMP car was also a little bit in my lane too when we braked, and I braked 50 metres earlier than he did. Flew past. Well, that wasn't you, Woody. That was, I think, one of the Audis. I was like, well, he was still in my lane, like he didn't give me the space. But a bit nerve-wracking sometimes. But mostly it's been pretty clean and incident-free with the overlapping, no overtaking between cars.
Yeah, it's been very nice. It's been fairly clean, and I think a credit to the GTE cars. They've done a terrific job so far in this race.
Yeah, most of
Yeah.
them have been quite aware what's going on. Especially Slide, he was very nervous coming into these sessions in practice. He really didn't want to be in the way or have his race ruined. And yeah, he's been doing just that, staying out of the way and leaving the wide line, staying on his racing line, and in the corners I think I've seen him taking the wide line as well.
So
Second
glad
last
these
lap.
drivers are.
And Darky's
the
going to
drivers
have a
are.
busy lap, by the looks of it.
Yeah, we might stay on Darky and see how he goes. He's been doing a tremendous job in the outright lead here, and just on his 35th lap on this session. But that's all up. That's 89 laps in this event so far. He's on the 89th lap.
So they're already 3 laps ahead of...
Has any other car even taken the lead at one point in the LMP8 class?
No, it's
I don't think so. Alway.
has not been passed at all. Jump. Almost
Gecko
lost
had
to
a
that
look
mic.
down the inside.
So we have one more lap after this one.
Just goes past Metal Drive there. And I think
Yep,
the
so-
Porsche and the Toyota are in front of him now.
Having a 1 lap and finishing with an extra lap. This session.
My theory was
Yeah.
confirmed last night, Sato. We did do the times off where I finished compared to the next car rather than the extra lap because Darky was in between us. So that won't be an issue for the restart on session 4. Oh, Lockie's just
There we
gone
go,
off
the
there.
Toyota's just making it easy for the leader. Yeah, and after he had that, they haven't been able to repair that car properly. I don't think. He just seems to not have the confidence. All this is very tight. Not giving Darky the ideal line into the Porsche curves.
He was holding his line though.
So with Knight Pegasus in front of Lockie, that's put them both on the same lap as each other. Lockie's trailing Pegasus at the moment. It looks like he's going to actually, he's closing up very quickly on Pegasus.
We're going to do one more lap. We start the last
The
lap
final
now.
lap.
We're just going to go
90th lap.
a little LMP battle. We haven't seen much of an LMPH overtaking another one. And I think Knight Pegasus will be more reluctant to let Lockie through than the 2 Audis.
Wing of Pegasus there.
Pegasus hasn't had good record with that rear wing. He had GTEs take off the rear wing at the start of session 2. So
Yeah.
he definitely doesn't want to have an LMPH doing the same thing to him.
It looks like Pegasus has a bit of front splitter damage. Oh, look at that Toyota. Straight past. See you later. Oh.
Is that a don't argue?
He might have been very weird. Might have actually been trying to help Pegasus out by giving Pegasus some
Could have just been
Yeah,
a wheel
could have been.
shake.
Oh, Pegasus running wide.
quite quickly to give the following cars some slipstream to help pull them along.
The toe. Yeah. So there you go. Got Gecko is keeping that gap under that 1 minute at the moment. So they're going to hand off under 20 seconds with a time compression if it finishes this way. So that's a good result and something that Aussie Carter's teammate to Got Gecko in the A&M Racing will be happy to hear and see. And no pressure on both the new drivers coming into the final session. I'm sure it'll be a little bit of nervous Nellies before the start of the race, with a lot to on the plate.
Yeah, Sato, don't be thinking about your Porsche GTE car while you're out there.
Yeah, the most prestigious race on our ANZ Combined Racing League calendar, the Le Mans 24 Hours, just like in probably any series, iRacing and anyone else that hosts this iconic event. Has any of the commentators, have we seen Darky actually put a foot wrong on this session? I can't see that we've seen anything. Sato, with your monitoring in the pit lane, has anything come up?
It's been nice and quiet, which is how I like it.
The only little thing I saw last night was he'd driven off, but as I come through Indianapolis, it looked like he was rejoining the track, but that was in my GTE car. But other than that, I haven't seen anything.
I'll bring up one thing. He's both times come into the pits. That's probably the only mistakes he's made. That's probably really about it.
It's probably an extra 2 seconds by doing that, though. Gain.
Yes, one of those little things, but I'm sure Darky's not doing it on purpose. He's just outbraked himself both times into there. He's actually tried to make that corner each time. So,
but well done, Dark Racing
comes.
40.
Yeah, taking out the session 3, like he did in session 2, and like Sato did in session 1. So they haven't been challenged yet. We've got one more session remaining, people, and will there be a challenge from the second Audi R8 of the number 7 A&M Racing? Just soon see him coming past Metal Drive.
Didn't see too many cars
at the end
getting held up through the Porsche curves this session, whereas it was a big talking point in session 2.
Yeah, it's just how the races flowed, I think. A lot of where they've caught up to them, and then sometimes some of the guys might be lifting off a little bit in the GTEs, just let them through beforehand.
Another solid drive by Got Gecko here, handing over to his brother and teammate Aussie Carters.
Yeah, they'll be super excited here, and we'll just see what that live gap is once it's all finished when we get the results. But looking like he's done a very good job. So keep that wait time as minimal as they can.
The 2 LMP cars are finished, so Weary Night. This looks like Slide Science. Yep.
Yeah.
As they're going into Ulsan Hairpin. Metal Drive, well done to him. He's kept the car in second place for Dado.
Yeah, just a little bit of front end damage, but that'll be all fixed up ready for Dado. And yeah, he's done a solid effort, really.
We'll see how much the time compression helps him again. I think it's approximately about the same as the last session, just by memory. 1 minute 40, 1 minute 50.
Yeah, well, if he's about, say 2 minutes behind the leader, between the leader, he'll have to wait around that 33 seconds. So he's under 2 minutes, so probably anywhere about 28 to 30 seconds wait. The race will be on. And we're just waiting for maybe Captain Cranky here to
finish. Weary Night.
That's our slide.
Okay.
Cranky, I did
slide
see
and
a
Weary Night
Porsche come over the start line as the Darky was going into the Ford chicanes. So Cranky will be the last car to cross the line as we see if Slide can hold off, can stay on the lead lap here.
He's doing a good job. I think Weary will just follow suit. No risk here, there's no gain. Actually, he's given it a good go.
On a lap as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Weary's done a 355.5 on his last lap, so he's still pushing. He's had a faultless drive. Well-earned win. Oh, not win, sorry, it's not over yet, but, you know, he's put himself in the play.
Trying to down the inside, who he really wants to see. See, the race ain't
over
for these guys.
That.
It's all about pride here. So that's a little a statement there from the Ford team. I'm sure the team boss was saying to him, don't give up, let's go, let's go.
Never give up.
And there you go, never give up.
Great
Good
drive.
slide science down another lap at the very end there. And now we'll just be waiting for Captain Cranky. But that was a good drive by the Apex Eating team. Benefiting from the race leader having an issue at the very start, near the start.
Well, here's
4 or 5 laps in.
a talking point for the GTE class. It looks like there's only about 30-35 seconds between the two Porsches now. Captain Cranky's brought back from a 3-minute gap.
Wow, that's amazing. So he's only going to be 12 seconds behind his nearest competitor there for the final spot of the podium. So that's amazing.
As we see Jetto disconnection on the bottom left there, flashed up.
Oh, look, Sato, only no laps, retired. Do we minus that off the Dark Racing's 36 laps? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It'll be still
they're all 36.
There you go. So there's the end of the race results. We've got Dark Racing 40 with Sato in the number 8 Audi Sport Team Yoast. And then we've got the Gecko trailing there just under that minute mark in the number 7 Team Audi, A&M Racing I should say. And they're going to be starting, as I said, about just around 30 seconds off the pace. And then Lockie 5.5s end up being 2 laps down, and also Night Pegasus was 3 laps down. So it was basically a replica of last night. That's how it was last night. And funny to say, Lockie with 38 seconds off the leader of Dark Racing. I was around about 38 as well, 36 seconds. So it's almost like a replay. And Weary Night making the most, 31 laps there in the Ford Jeep Ganassi, number 69. A lap ahead of Metal Drive in second in that Besman Racing Aston Martin. And then the 2 Porsches taking out the bottom 2 positions there with, as we said, the talking point and probably the drive of my pick of the drive of the day was Captain Cranky there in that Porsche, making the most. Don't want to take it anywhere of the spotlight out of Dark Racing 40 in that leading Audi. That was a sensational drive, but to get someone back up into the race, into the battle, Captain Cranky did a great job.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, guys?
Great race by everyone, I think. The GTE had some good little battles there going, especially as we look forward to the next race, that especially the 2 Porsches who will sit on that final step of the podium.
The cars said that was good from the drivers. A couple of time penalties, but you sort of expect that around here with the...
I've just realised Lockie with a 29-second penalty. He almost got close to a drive-through, 30 seconds, and it's a drive-through. So that was very close for another visit to the pit lane by the number 6 Premier Motorsport Toyota.
And I didn't realise Cranky had 11 seconds, so could the race end tomorrow with under 11 seconds, that might have something to do with the race result. Would end up costing him.
Yeah, well, that'll reflect there, obviously, in that time there with a time
of course.
Compression, so that won't follow through to the next round. But, yeah, so thank you for everyone for joining. It's time for us to say goodbye, and we will obviously be back covering the final 1 hour session, so you don't want to miss that, because that's where all the action and the drama will unfold. Most of the drivers have all got themselves within a good chance of a podium right across the field, and we'll be live just sometime around about 20 past 2 Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we hope to have your company. And it's been a pleasure to have both Sato and CMDR Cirrus join me here in the commentary this morning.
Yep.
And I thank you for your words and your time.
Oh, thank you. It was my first time in the commentary booth. I had a blast.
And excellent work on the cameras there, and all the insights from Sato. Thank you so much, buddy.
Yep, no worries. Happy to help out wherever.
All right. Okay. On that note, cheerio, guys, and have a nice lunch, and we will see you back here sometime around about 2:20 p.m. Thank you so much.
Cheers, fellas.
Bye now.
Bye. Ah.